The Business Oddcast.
Hello and welcome to another Business Oddcast. It's Business Oddcast number 13. Can you believe it? We're 13. It's unlucky for
13.
some, but
It
lucky for us. I'm your host, Stuart Morrison, and this is your fantabulous co-host.
Hannah Logan, nice to meet you at your service again.
Hannah,
So,
fantastic. Another week, another Oddcast.
and
What's been going on? What's the
love,
t-shirt?
my t-shirt. Well, funny you should say that, Stuart. It's almost like we planned it. Actually, we didn't.
We
How
didn't.
cool. My t-shirt. Oh, I don't know if you can let me see. Let me get myself on screen so that you can see. You can see the bit, so you can see a bit of a hint here. So our topic this week, shall I announce the topic?
Yes, let's get on with the topic.
Okay. So the topic this week is surviving celebrations, and I say surviving. I hate people that do this, and yet I'm doing it now. Celebrations, holidays, birthdays, social pressure, and social pressure. I think you can all relate to that. But in celebration, in inverted commas, of the holiday season, I have got my favourite t-shirt, which sums up, I think, my focus in December. Look, let me do this. Mince pies before guys.
Yeah. Ah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, my husband, if he's listening. But yeah, hell yeah to mince pies before guys. I think the fact that I have a t-shirt celebrating a really small part of the Christmas period tells you exactly how I feel about the Christmas period. For me, it is literally all about the mince pies. I just binge them, and that's what gets me through. Probably not the
Oh,
healthiest
oh,
way.
it's a whole thing in our house that when the gluten-free mince pies land in the various stores, we go round, we get them all, and then we have a taste, and those will be this year's. And it's not. I was surprised. It's not always the ones you think it's going to be. I
Yeah,
thought it would be the Waitrose all butter, but
yeah.
it was the M&S last year. Oh,
Nice, nice. I love them. I never used to love them. And then one year I got really hyper focused on mince pies, like in a really slightly not great normal way, and just kind of plowed through a lot. And I saw the whole thing as a bit of an experiment, which was just an excuse basically for me to eat my body weight in mince pies. One thing that gave me the rage though, and it gives me the rage every year because this same shop does it, don't be making me those little tiny mini mince pies because my brain justifies six of those as a standard mince pie, which is probably why I'm a bit chubby because I'm like, well, how many of these little guys it makes a big guy? Got to be six. So yeah, an entire packet of those
just
become.
brushing the crumbs off your chin
I'm
at
just
the
like
end.
I'm like the Cookie Monster, but for mince pies. Just me covered in crumbs all over my lovely mince pie t-shirt.
Not to
So
take
yeah,
us too far down a mince pie rabbit hole, but how
yes,
do you
yeah,
feel about the icing ones?
wrong. They give me the rage. I can cope with the crumble topping
Uh,
because Waitrose, there are other shops available. Waitrose do one with a crumble topping, which is magnificent.
that's a good
Yeah, I
one.
don't think it's gluten free, which is annoying, but
No.
it's very, very good. And those are giants, so that Waitrose again messing. Give me the small ones, give me the giant ones. Just give me a normal bloody size mince
I
pie.
know
Come
where I
on.
am with the normal size. The ones that always disappoint me are the value ones because I
Yeah.
always pop the top. I pop the top
And
off, and
there's
you look
nothing
in, and
inside.
you're peering down. It's like looking into a bucket, and there's just that, like, and you're
Just
like,
a millimeter of brown stuff at the bottom.
what is that?
Air. It's like 60% air.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like
When you
swallowing
bite
a yawn, a mince pie
it,
flavored yawn. Oh, oh, I
when
better
you
eat
bite
another one.
when you bite into the ones with like zero filling, the kind of top collapses in, doesn't it, as you bite into them because there's nothing holding it up.
No, I
Yeah.
can't do that. It's if when you bite into it, the roof collapses like and the sides spread out. No. Anyway, look, let's not get too far off the topic
Anyway,
of
yeah,
surviving
here we go.
celebrations, holidays, birthdays, and social pressure. What do you mean? Why? What's wrong with a celebration, Hannah?
So I've
Explain
not really
yourself.
explain yourself, Your Honour. I don't. Oh, I know it's not the popular choice. Well, it is amongst us folk, no doubt. I think for me, celebrations bring attention, right? And
Yes.
although I probably potentially come across as quite a somebody that likes attention. I really do not. I love it in the in this situation with the podcast and stuff, but it isn't about the attention with what we're doing here, right? But for me, birthdays in particular, birthdays are all about me or you, depending on whose birthday it is. And I can't cope with that. I cannot cope with the pressure of my birthday. And it isn't my expectations, it's everybody else's. It was my 50th last year. And in the build up to it, this is actually, I'm going to tell you something really awful. In the build up to my 50th, so many people, what are you going to do on your 50th? Oh, it's 50th, new decade, Hannah. What are you going to do? Like I was going to come out of the 40s like a phoenix from the ashes, and I was suddenly going to be really successful and like, Claudia Schiffer, or actually probably all the young people who listen to this have no clue who she is. One of the top models of her time.
One of the Claudias.
So, one of the Claudias. So that pressure for me is brutal. And in fact, last year for my 50th, I had to have an operation and I got to select the date. And I selected the date so that I was in hospital for my 50th. Everyone kept saying, "Oh no, you poor thing, that's awful. Oh, that's so unfortunate." No, it's not. I picked the date.
It's the
Oh.
win. So, if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, what the hell are you talking about? There are a slew of hidden challenges around celebrations, from the stress of being on socially to the gift giving anxiety. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Running a business whilst trying to do all of this sort of stuff, especially when, you might have a team that want to celebrate, the boss or whatever. We're going to go through what it is, how it presents, what we experience it as, maybe some boundary settings, some trigger avoiding, ways to create celebrations that actually you are going to enjoy, rather than those cringe moments where, as happened to me when I was 16, I was told by my parents, how about this for a trauma? I was told by my parents that we were going out for a Chinese meal. Yummy. So I'm in my head, me, my parents, little three of us, off local hostelry, which we'd had previously agreed that I was gonna go to have a Chinese meal. No. What actually happened was, I came downstairs ready to get my coat on and go out, was wheeled into the dining room, and every single member of my family was stood there. Happy birthday to I just it was the vertigo, the switching, that suddenly there is a photograph of me standing there holding the cake.
Crying.
And the look on my face looks like a hostage. Blink if you need help. I've got that kind of like, I don't know
Where's
what
my
to
Chinese?
say. I was not expecting to people this.
I wanted chow mein.
Yeah, and the underlying news, the takeaway from this was, I'm not getting Chinese. What? I'd set my entire day up.
Plan the menu.
So birthdays. Yeah, I can totally yes, I'd like to be in hospital. Would you like a hospital bed? Yes, please. I tell you what, hotels would do a roaring trade if they told people they could come to the hotel and not have their birthday.
Yes, single room occupancy.
Yep. We will bring
Just want to escape from my
stuff
birthday.
to you, and you can just lock the door and you'll be treated like an inpatient for your birthday.
The weirdest thing though is, and this is a complete contradiction, and I have yet to work out what is going on in my brain other than some bizarre fight when it comes to birthdays. So yeah, firstly, 100%, I do not want the attention. I don't want you looking at my face as I unwrap a present. I've been given presents where they stare at me and I just put the bag on the floor and carry on talking to somebody else. And they're like, "Oh, you didn't open it." And I say, "Don't you worry, I'll open that later on my own." But in contrast, and my husband's been caught out on this a few times, and my kids, I start with like, "Yeah, I'm not really interested in my birthday. Don't worry, I don't really need anything. Don't worry, it's just another day." Oh my God, if they listen to that, if they listen to that and don't make an effort, it is brutal. So, like a few years ago, I became a complete birthday princess monster. Like, everybody was like, you said you didn't really want anything, but here's a voucher and like some lip balm. And I was like, what the actual fuck? What do you mean some voucher and some lip balm? Like, did anybody buy me a cake? Like, I don't want it to be presented to me, but did anybody get a cake? Are we doing anything? Are we having a takeaway? Like, what, I was born this day. Suddenly I'm like completely contradicted everything else I've ever said. And all three, my kids and my husband, were like, what? No, but you made a massive point of saying you didn't want to celebrate your birthday. So yeah, it's a bit brutal, really. Bit
Well,
schizophrenic in my opinions of these,
talking about wins,
yeah.
birthday wins. Here's my birthday win confession. I love the fact that I get fewer and fewer cards every year. And I actually want no cards. I think they're a waste of money. I think they're a waste of time. Happy birthday, post.
Here's a tree.
Oh, now you've given me something that I need to throw away. Great. I've now got to deal with your waste just because you couldn't send a text. We've got better methods of communicating. Send me a GIF, a meme, just, a meme that says that you were thinking of me. Thank you very much. I know it's the thought, Stuart, it's the thought that counts. No, it's not. I have a different thought. It's not that thought that counts. It's a thought that you thought of me on my birthday. Upgrade your thoughts. We've got better technology. And that goes through my head. So that's nice to deal with on your birthday. You get a
I'm
card.
opposite
Great.
in that way.
Yes, you're putting money in it. No,
Are you like as a kid where you just like opened it like, oh, nothing fell out?
I'd always
That
open
goes
it
over your
gingerly,
shoulder.
like, oh, I don't want it to fall on the ground.
Air, there's
Slowly, like,
nothing in
oh,
there.
an air and a weight of expectation, especially if it had been given to me by an adult. Oh, you've given me only a card. That must
You
mean,
hate me.
oh, there's some heft. It's quite thick. Maybe it's a wad. And you open it up and it's a badge. And you're like, oh, immediately disappointed. Or one of those padded ones. Oh, do you remember the padded cards? Or am I that
Oh,
a
you have to
padded?
open. It's got about 5 bits when you open them.
It always, yeah. It's like we didn't know when to stop making the card. We're gonna have a padded bit. We're gonna have a thing that comes out. We're gonna turn it, and the eyes go round. Yeah, and you open it up with the expectation and glee of a crisp note. Didn't care at that point in your life whether it's a 1 or a 10 or
Yeah,
whatever.
just give me
Crisp note.
one.
And you open it up like that, and what greets you is two flaps of paper because it's an expensive padded card with "Happy Birthday" and it's a signature. Great.
One year, my
Oh God,
one.
I just feel
We're
so
going back to
terrible and
trauma therapy
greedy
after
as a
this.
kid.
One year, my grandmother is not around anymore, which is why I can say this. My grandma sent a card and it had lots of sellotape on it and it felt really stiff and really thick. And I thought it wasn't, you didn't think there's a note in there. You thought, what is in the, is there like a person inside? It's just really bizarre. Anyway, when I finally got all the sellotape off and tipped it out, she basically just tipped the contents, which wasn't a great deal, of her purse into my card. And it had like something like £1.53 in it. And so just like coins just out of a card. And she'd put some cardboard in to kind of buffer it all up and stop the coins breaking the envelope. It was really weird. In my brain, I actually replayed it and I thought, oh my God, she's just making a cup of tea one day and she goes, shit, it's Hannah's birthday tomorrow. She gets her purse, she doesn't care, chucks it into an old card that wasn't even a birthday card, put a load of sellotape on it and chucked it in the post. And I was like, oh, that's even as a small kid, I was like, that's really random.
It's
Like a
the
really
thought that
random thing.
counts.
I didn't think that. I was a birthday princess back then as well. I was like, what the hell? Give me a note or don't bother. I only accept notes.
So we're talking about birthdays. We're gonna work through a few other celebrations and things that crop
Yeah.
up that are unique to them. But talking about birthdays, the whole for me, the whole like, what do you want to do? Why do I have to make a decision? Why, but by the same token, do not surprise me. I want to know exactly. I would like a minuted schedule, a spreadsheet with the times and who's going to turn up,
Project
because
plan.
one brain is demanding the structure and the detail, and the other brain is going, I'm never going to remember all of this unless you give me it in, like, maybe, set up a Apple Note, share with me. I love that. Oh, I'd love that. Oh, so and so says they're coming. Put them in the note. Nice. I can refer to that when my brain goes, what's happening? But I, it's not that the actual celebration distresses me. Jim knows the parameters around which I want that celebration. It will be a few close friends. We might go out somewhere and then come back, a few close friends, or we might just stay in, a few close friends. Right. I don't want a big showy party. What are you doing for your 50th? Beckle. Oh no, you've got to celebrate. Who says? Who says? Where's the law? Show me the law. Show it me in writing. Otherwise, do one. Because I'm going to do it my way, which is probably lying horizontal on the sofa with maybe, a beverage, cold, foamy beverage, and a few nice morsels to just chuck in my mouth and, expand my waist. Other than that, now you've got to do something. I don't want to. I spend, especially when I used to be in entertainment. So it's like, oh, the worst thing, slightly worse than a birthday, is a demand for a fancy dress party.
Oh.
Two things. One, I used to do quite a lot of corporate events as characters. So it was basically fancy dress. You think I want to spend my day off wearing fancy dress?
No.
Busman's holiday. Not interested. And the second one is, oh, we're all gonna be Elizabethans. No, we're not.
Oh.
No. I want to be Elizabethan.
You can. I'm not doing it.
I don't like the neckline. And so I turn up with, like, what are you wearing, Stuart? Well, technically, we are, when the last Queen was alive, technically we are Elizabethans right now. So I'm just wearing my normal outfit. Oh, you've broken the party, Stuart. Logic.
You've ruined it. So I love a bit. So, well, I love fancy dress, depending on if it's not a crap topic, and that's another massive if. But I love fancy dress, or did when I had more enthusiasm and was younger. But the last fancy dress I did, I was Princess Leia. I can't just buy a 20 quid Princess Leia outfit on Amazon, or other platforms are available. I have to make it. So it takes me weeks. I had a proper wig with, like, the proper. I literally could have doubled as Princess Leia. I had a better costume than she did in the films. No one notices. Like, I walk in there, everyone else is in, like, highly flammable Amazon jobs. And I'm like, look, guys, I've literally built myself an entire outfit with the right shoes and everything. No one notices. There's, I spent months on that.
The attention to detail matters, though,
Gives
Hannah.
me the
It does matter. And if it matters to anyone, it matters to me. I once spent more money. I used to be a Little Britain lookalike for my sins many years ago, and I spent more money on my Emily Howard dress than my wife spent on her wedding outfit. Goes to show you where my priorities are. But as I point out to anyone who goes, oh, that's terrible, my Emily Howard dress made more money than my wife's wedding outfit ever did.
Well, there you go.
The rest of my case. Talk to us about gift receiving trauma.
Gift receiving trauma. I'm getting twitchy just thinking about it. Okay, so I don't have. It's weird because my face has a really broad range of emotions and stuff. But when it comes to any presents being given to me, I can't fake it. If it sucks, if it's another candle because you decided that I'm a middle-aged lady and that's what we love, I'm going to have a face that says, why? Why bother? And I shove it. I can't help. I just push it to the edge of wherever I am. Like, yeah, thanks. Okay, brilliant. I'll just add that to the other 59 candles I've got. Thank you very much.
Do you think, here's a
Yeah.
question. Do you think, and I think I already know the answer to this, so I'm kind of setting you up, but do you think it's to do with your inability to lie?
Yes.
Because that's what ultimately it is.
Yeah.
It's a social lie. It's a polite lie, but
Yeah.
it's not the truth.
It's a combination. So I've decided that it's a combination of my inability to lie, but also for me, there's definitely some rejection and sensitivity going on. So when somebody that knows me well gives me a shit present, then my brain's like, why would you think that? Why you know me better than that? Why have I got? I mean, one year my husband got me a voucher for like a really fancy clothes shop, but it was like really, I was there in my Led Zeppelin t-shirt and ripped jeans, and he gave me a voucher for somewhere that would have got me a rather sensible crocheted cardigan. And I was like, what? Have you met me? Have you ever met me? And he was so, his response, equally autistic, was like, oh, that's ungrateful. And I pondered on it for days, like, and we had a big discussion about how he didn't know me properly and we needed to talk more. And it became like a really big deal because he gave me a voucher. Basically, he explained in the end, he said, Hannah, I ran out of time. I drove into the local town. I ran into the nearest shop. I grabbed you a voucher. And I thought, done, got you a card in the supermarket on the way home. Everybody's a winner. And I took it so personally. But that's if it's somebody that knows you really well. It's not quite so tragic if it's a workmate or something that gives you a crap candle and you're like, well, you're okay, you don't know me. It's a bit less offensive, maybe. Do you feel like that? Or
Um, I am a nightmare to buy a present for. And
yeah,
literally, if I need something, I'll go and buy it. That,
same.
and it's usually an esoteric thing that most people won't know. So I have curated gift lists and tried to keep them up to date. But even then, people look at it and go, oh, I don't want to buy him a soldering mat. Oh, I really want to
It's the best
Oh my
present
God,
ever.
the reaction that you would get. Oh my word. No, we'll get him a book.
Another
And
book that
and
he'd
it's
never
not that
read.
I don't appreciate the time, the effort, the expense, the thought that you've put into acquiring this so that you can say to me, we really like you to have a happy birthday. I would much rather you keep your money, you do you, and just send me a GIF. I don't have to delete it. I don't have to put it somewhere. I don't have to process it afterwards. I don't have to put it into the box of re-gifting presents that we have to always remember to put a sticker on so we don't give the gift back to the person that we got it from. Yes,
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
thing in our house.
Yeah, you re-gift back to the person.
I,
That must be brutal. That's the ultimate like get lost response, isn't it?
yeah, I
Hey,
liked it so much. I bought one for you as well.
and it's even got my name still written on it.
Yes. Did you see what I did on page 46? No, what? The doodle? No, don't look at page 46.
The personal message on the front
Personalize the
page.
message for you.
I So in contrast to your kind nature of like appreciating people's effort, I don't. I do not care if you went to I don't care if you went to Waterstones and spent 20 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it is, pondering what book would Hannah like. What you've the oversight there as you're in Waterstones. I don't read books. I can't concentrate well enough to read a book. I listen to books. I have a book graveyard, which is basically my landing, full of books that people have misguidedly gifted to me or lent me. I now have a rule. If you lend me a book, I say thank you. I hand it straight back and say, I will never read this and then I will lose it. And they're like, oh, well, just take it back. Like, Hannah, have a look at this. I thought you'd like it. I will never read it and then I will lose it. You'll get upset. I'm not doing this. Here you go. Okay. Thank you, Hannah.
They
So,
say be
yeah,
honest and be true.
but it's brutal because the point is, for me, birthdays and the whole gift receiving part, it just feels like it's for everybody else's benefit. Oh, they felt good because they found me the perfect book that I'll never read. Then they give it to me and I have to play nicely and be like, oh, I love it, but I hate it. And then,
It's very
yeah,
performative. It's very kind
it's
of, it's
awful.
about the person giving the gift rather than the gift receiver.
Yeah, which is bizarre, really
Yeah.
bizarre. And that pressure, that kind of, I really have to think about it, that awkward, like, have I got the right face on? If I can't, generally I avoid opening it in front of them. I make an excuse. But if I'm forced to, I mean, nothing worse than when you're a small kid, if you were unfortunate enough to have a little birthday party and they're all around you, like, come on, it's time to unwrap Hannah's presents. And I'm like,
Oh.
oh, surrounded by 20 small people, like, staring at you. Awful.
Do you know what's worse than that? Do you know what is the worst gifting experience?
Yeah.
The Christmas circle.
Oh, no, yes.
So all quick, let's get put the in and this one's from so and you get passed out a parcel or whatever. We're all doing the gifts from Nana or whatever, and it comes around and you feel it and you're like, oh, it's that again. Um, and then they go, all right, open it, and it's got like a string around it and some sellotape, and like, I can't just do the. Oh
No.
no, I've got one do all of the knots. Gemma's
I had to
like,
take all the sellotape off. Yeah.
Gemma's peeling her face off, going, "What is it? What is it?" I'm like, I just need to untie this tiny. And you know what a really good technique is for getting them apart is rolling it. I don't care what's in the. So I gently peel that off, and then I read the label. Somebody's gone to the trouble of putting a label and a thing on it. Oh, it's from so and so. It's there she is. Turn it over. Oh, how have they done this then? Oh, it's sellotape there. Oh, it's the set. You can imagine everybody else is in their thing and they've got their thing, and Stuart and my daughter are still dutifully peeling back, sticking the tape to one side. I'll use that. I'll recycle that. I've got some things that I need sticking with partially transparent, partially sticky, partially with part of the wrapper of Christmas on it. Tape. I've got a special place for that. I'll put that in my special place.
My box of special things.
Special tape box of Christmas. This is Christmas 25, Very good. And I will then
Yeah.
open it, and then I want to consider it and look at it, and depending on what it is, interact with it in some way. And everybody else is moving on to the next one. It's like, oh, no, 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 I want to see what you've got. You can't move on. No, 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 no. And then this one's from Grandad. But I've just got this one. I haven't. It's one new thing in my life. I now need to focus on. I need to try it on, or what? Flick through it, or what? And I just find it it's like, and the noise of the paper rustling, and it's just like, and when the kids were little, whatever noisy thing somebody had thoughtlessly, why would you buy a child an electronic drum set? Just
Because they
why
hate
is that even a thing? Why is that a product? There's not a single parent that's out there going, do you know what we need to get little Johnny? A really neat thing that you can't turn off very easily. It's got a number of settings. The only upside to it is anything noisy, the battery usually runs out within about 30 minutes. Or doesn't come with batteries. Win. That's a win.
Yes, yes.
The only
Crying child, who cares? Yes, no batteries.
The only exception to this was a duck that I bought my son once, and it's like a wheel along duck,
Oh
and
yeah.
it went. If you bashed it on the beak, it went whack 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 for about an infinity. It
Oh.
just never stopped. Whack 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 whack, and it was like the most sensitive thing. If he was as a kid in his bed and he turned over, it would go off and wake him up.
Scare the hell out of him.
It was like this hand grenade, and why we didn't throw it away because he liked it, and it was like, it's that whack 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 whack. Anyway,
Bonded with it.
years later, I'm in the loft. I push a bag to one side, and I hear. Whack, 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 whack. It's been up there for like 15 years, all weathers, all temperatures. It's still alive.
That's really sad. He's like, Daddy, let me out. I'm still here. I want to see my friends. It basically is. The whole present thing is like some kind of social endurance test, isn't it? It's just utterly hideous. It's so much more complicated than that. I'm not being a
Yes.
spoiled git. it just is. It sounds like I am though, but yeah.
But it's also and this is definitely a challenge, is you open it up and quite often somebody will buy me an item of clothing,
Mm.
and the first thing I have to do is check the seams and
Yeah.
check the label.
Oh yeah.
And it it might be a lovely t-shirt, and in fact over the years I've had some lovely
Yeah. Yeah.
pieces of garments and stuff like that. My mother-in-law is particularly good at picking out really nice and like nice,
Yeah. Yeah.
taped seams and all, she gets it.
Comfy.
And it's I feel a disappointment in that they tried so hard to get me something that
Yeah.
was the right thing, and it's definitely a considered present. It's not
Yeah.
oh, there you are, there you go.
Mm.
And you just know you're never going to wear it. And
Yeah.
then there's just that little shame and that little guilt of like, oh, they've gone to the trouble, and I'm. It's not that I'm disappointed; it's that I'm disappointed in me not
Yeah.
being able to now enjoy this thing, because I know I'm going to put it on, and after an hour, I'm going to
Yeah.
want to peel my face off.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
So
You feel bad
it's
for
not,
them. Yeah.
yeah, it's not just all about the other person. It's
No,
not
you're right.
that. It's the internal stuff that
Mm.
happens, and it almost is because you're so used to doing it. Your brain runs the thing like if you were going out and buying, oh, I'm going to go out and buy some shirts, right? So
Yeah.
you go out with the intention of being a shirt shopper, but you go to the normal shirt shop that you normally go to because those shirts are the ones you can wear.
Yeah.
And you do that because you're saving yourself the disappointment of traipsing around 10 others that always disappoint. So you just go, it's a short, that's what I'll do. So to have somebody not understand all of that is not necessarily their failing, because
No.
I've never explained this to anyone. This is all new for me, late diagnosis and all the rest of it. But I've been doing this for years. It's not just something that creeps up on you, and you you can't. I think there's a better understanding now, but you can't explain to them why. I'm really sorry, but
Yeah.
I just can't wear it because of that label. Cut the label out. It's not the. It leaves a tag, and you have to then pick the seam, and then the seam comes apart, and then you've got this thing dangling
Yeah.
that tickles you, and it's not a nice t-shirt, is it? And you can't explain
No.
that, but you know that you've done that for many, many years, try to solve the problem and try to,
Mm.
and you just feel a bit sorry and a bit disappointed, and it just
Yeah.
takes the. I'd rather literally, and I mean this generally, if anybody knows me, do not buy me a present. Please don't feel
You
social
heard it here first.
obligation to buy me a
Public
present.
announcement.
But if we're out one day and you want to buy me a drink, great. If you feel flush enough to want to buy a meal, that's perfect. I want things that I cannot. Well, I don't have to. I've got so many things around me. When there are going to be skips that they're going to have to put stuff in, I'm trying to get rid of stuff before I die, but I'm just terrible at it. And I don't want a drawer full of stuff that never got used, never got looked at, never got just dumped. And
Yeah.
that would for me be, so keep your money, spend it on yourself. That's what gives me joy, is seeing my friends. I bought this t-shirt with your birthday money. Brilliant. Fantastic. I get to see you enjoy it. What a gift. And I think as I get older, it's more about the experience and the fun that I can have in life rather than what I've got.
No,
So
I
I
hear
do find that gift giving thing creates a real internal dissonance for me. The
you. Yeah.
waste of it, the just, oh God, the skip loads of stuff that people must have that they keep because somebody gave them.
It just, yeah, absolutely that. And it, for me, like I touched on already, it's weird because I want to be special and different and get stuff, but I also don't want stuff. It's just brutal. But I hear what you're saying, and you said earlier, actually a gift list. I mean, now I do at Christmas and stuff. I just say like my next birthday, I just say I've run out of perfume. Just could you get me some more of my normal perfume? It's practical. I'll use it every day. It makes much more sense than a load of stuff that's just, yeah, it's just not going to get used up.
And I think somebody trusting you that that's genuinely something you want
Yeah,
and doing that, that in and of itself is a lovely gift to give someone.
yeah,
I bought you something that I know 100% you want and are going to use. And
yeah.
whilst it might not be the surprise, quite a lot of the time, the problem is the person trying to surprise and delight you. And it's that surprise
Yes,
element that can
I
turn from
hate it.
delight into just,
Yeah.
nah.
I don't want a surprise. It's like if they say like, I'm going to take you somewhere. No, please don't, because I don't know where that place is. I don't know if I like the lighting in it. I just don't just pounce a surprise thing on me, a surprise adventure. I'm not impulsive. I don't
I've
want to
told
just jump in the car.
I've told Gemma that if I ever walk into a surprise, I will do a 180 and walk away. I just will. I just know I will. I won't be able to help myself. It'll be just too much. And I've said, so please, please, please. Like even when my mum, who I believe was definitely very, very on the spectrum, too many stories to go into right now. But she asked me for her 80th birthday. I said to her, what do you want? And she said,
Hmm.
I want a surprise party.
Oh.
And I said to her, right, you want a surprise party, but you know that I'm going to throw you a surprise party. She goes, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But I just want everybody to, when I walk in, say surprise. No,
Oh, okay.
And and it was, she wanted to know who was there, when it was, where
Yeah.
it was, who was there. At this point, mum, you just want a
You've
party.
missed the
The whole surprise part of it. And all the way in, I'm wheeling her in. She was in a wheelchair at that point. I wheeled her in like that. And she was like, oh, are they down here? Like, shh. They don't. It's now a surprise guest. What? I'm now in this weird limbo lie where we're supporting the fantasy that you think that it's a surprise party, and the other people don't know that you know that it's not a surprise party. So I've now been lying to lots of people. Ah,
It's so funny.
guys,
I
no.
bet she'd been practicing her face for weeks. Like this is my kind of like, whoa, big eye surprise face.
It was we laugh about it and chuckle about it, but she was very adamant that it wasn't a fun thing. It was she was going to have a surprise party.
I wonder why she was got that in her head. Maybe
But
she'd never had one and she thought that's a bucket list thing.
I mean, exactly that. You know, it might
Yeah.
have been in her head like no one's ever thrown me a surprise party, and before I die, I want to experience a surprise party. Maybe people knew you better than you knew yourself. You never wanted. I never wanted surprise. Bye. Why are we looking at the Stuart running away? What? No. And I said, if any of my mates get in touch with you and start talking about a surprise party,
Oh
you
no.
are to
Yeah.
in no leave them with no doubt
Yeah.
how Stuart feels about surprise parties. And most people that know me have heard this rant. And it just sounds ungrateful. Oh, but they're all colluding behind you. No, no, no. I used to watch. So when I was growing up, there's a program with Eamon. Can't remember his Eamon Hughes. No, Eamon
Evan Andrews? No, no,
Andrew. That
that's
was it.
that's This Is Your Life, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh,
This is
oh,
your life.
sorry,
I
I've
used to
ruined
watch it
it.
with a
Yeah.
dread, like it was a horror show. And all these people, this poor person, going to accept an award. But tonight, this is your life. Big book, whisked away to a car, to a studio full of people, all sitting there, random strangers coming. I knew him when he was 5, and he used to pick his nose and come in my shop. And you're then confronted with this kaleidoscope of people that you've forgotten about, and if you'd had any kind of feeling about, would be still knowing about you. As you sit there, as they bring out your entire family, all of your work colleagues. Oh, that's like a night sweat for me. That is like night terror fuel. And I used to watch it as a kid, literally like a horror show. No, I feel purged. Like I've shared a confession.
It's like,
Everyone
here's
else is
all the
just like,
people
what?
you've been trying to avoid for the last 18 years.
It's, imagine that some man books
Yeah.
just doorsteps you with this is and the big book. Although saying that, when we got married, my father-in-law presented a velvet book that looked exactly like This Is Your Life, that said This Is Your Wife, and it was a lot of photographs of Jem, which he presented to
Oh my
the
gosh,
congregation.
that's so cool.
It was very cool. We've got it on the side. It's like it really is. It looks exactly like he's nailed it. Absolutely nailed
Oh,
it.
that's such a good idea.
But you see, that sort of gift, that, I
Yeah.
mean, if somebody makes me a gift, I don't care whether I'm going to wear it or not. I just
Mm.
appreciate the effort because it just feels
Yeah.
so personal that you marvel at the craftsmanship and the
Yeah.
detail, and that gives you the enjoyment of the present, even if it's like a crocheted
Couple of loo rolls
tam'o'shanter,
stuck
you
together.
say. That's what I needed, was it? I've seen your tartan suit shirt, and I decided to crochet you. Well, I couldn't do a tartan, so I just made it all pink.
You
Yeah.
remember when your kids are small and they like my daughter has always been really into crafting and stuff. And like when she was tiny, she'd kind of be like, "I made you something, Mama, for your birthday," and it would be like a pair of binoculars that she'd made out of a couple of loo rolls with some like string attached, and you'd have to spend the whole day pretending like, "Oh wow, I could see really far," and
No,
she was just
I would lean hard
this
into
present,
that. I would lean hard
such the
into it.
best present ever.
Definitely.
And especially if it didn't look anything like what it was meant to be, you're like, okay, this is an invisible cloak. Okay, brilliant.
My mum once received the reason so there's a story behind why I said it was a crocheted hat, because my mum received a crocheted beret from one of her sisters one Christmas. And in my mum's way, she was like, I don't want to wear it, but I can't bear not to use it. So it used to be a cover on the stool in the toilet. It was a kind of stool, put anything you like on it. Had a lady
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
toilet roll on it for a long time, but he had this thing, this pink hat.
He was wearing the beret with pride.
I don't know if my aunt ever saw it or twigged or whatever, but is that looks suspiciously like my handiwork?
I bet
No,
the stool felt like the best dressed stool ever. I bet it
like a
had a
stool.
French accent. Monsieur, you are going to
Le
use the toilet.
stoulet. um, so I think we've wandered off the point here. The
Yeah.
point to it is doing your birthday your way and not having to apologize
Mm.
to anyone for how you wish to celebrate. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of trauma as you age around birthdays as well, because they remind you of your parents. And if your parents aren't around any longer
Yeah.
and you're not able to share that with them, mine just reminds me of the absence.
Yeah.
And that, whilst it's nice to go, it does bring a sort of and
Bit of
it's
a downer. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm much more of the it's another day. If somebody wants to pop up
Mm.
and raise a glass, then I'll join in. But
Yeah.
you know, have a. I'd always want to like the policy where the company gives the people the day off on their birthday.
Yes.
Go be you. Go do you. We won't make you sit around whilst all your colleagues come out with a cake and do the whole birthday thing. I just that for me would finish me. I would
Yeah.
literally and with one of my key customers, they kept asking me for my birthday, and I kept not telling them. And eventually, they was like, it was the CEO of the company said, "Stu, you really need to provide the birthday." I said, "Why?" I said, "It's not a compliance thing." She goes, "Well, no, we want to send you a card and do the whole thing." No, thanks. I'd really not.
Take
I
the book bag.
appreciate you want to do that, but that alone makes me not want to do that. It's a nice thing, but buy me a drink on a random Thursday. Go, this is your
Yeah.
birthday drink. Oh, brilliant. That's the surprise I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be stressful. And it's not only the gift giving, it's all of the palaver around it, the party, the noise, the demands, the way it needs to be. Oh God, the whole let's sing happy birthday. Let's not do that.
Oh, it's
Let's
the
ban that
worst.
song and put it on a blacklist. Just
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I'm getting a lot of closure.
Yeah, we're really purging ourselves on this episode, aren't we?
Very, very honest. So, coping strategies. How do you cope? How do you put in place things that allow you to get through this? I guess everyone's got their own strategy, and the point to this is, I think the point to this entire purging of sins and souls
Mm,
is that we are normalizing what it is for you to do you
yeah,
however you want around your celebrations. I know I struggle at Christmas with my energy,
yeah,
a lot of demands on it, but Christmas Day is structured in a way that I am able to cope. And I
yeah,
cook lunch and the Christmas dinner. I cook that and I manage that and I'm in charge of that, and it gives some structure to my day. And I love a spreadsheet,
yeah.
and a roast dinner is great excuse to crack
Oh
out
my
a
God, I love a spreadsheet.
spreadsheet and alarms. Oh, now's the time to do this.
Oh, I can't do
Perfect.
alarm.
But you see, I think that's
I can't
also
do alarms. Yeah.
remind. Yeah, it buzzes. It also allows me to know what the routine will be and what to expect. So even if there is
Yeah.
a change in routine, I'm able to manage myself ahead of that,
Yeah.
knowing that there are certain parties and places and things that you have to go to. And I'm not saying that they're not enjoyable, but the aftermath is it's like that you get the hangover whether you drink or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That energy kind of like, oh God, I'm knackered. That's just, and I had one of those on Monday where I was
Broken.
just out.
Yeah.
I was done. I couldn't do anymore. Saturday and Sunday was just way too much peopling and just stuff. So we're saying
Mm.
choose to do what you need to do to get through some of these situations. And yes, there will be social obligations, but do them in your own way. And we've got a little guide, a survival guide for this sort of thing that we're going to be putting on the website. So that will accompany this, which will give you some practical tips, some thoughts, and some ideas around some coping strategies and how you might be able to structure your energy a little bit more efficiently and take advantage of your fantastic ability to earn an independent living and be flexible with your time. So, Hannah, anything else you want to add to the whole surviving celebrations, holidays, birthdays, and social pressure? Now's your time.
Now's my time.
Now's your
Oh,
time.
pressure. No. I think it's taken me many years, but I think it's about being boundaried. You know, yeah, we've all had years of like, I don't like a big fuss. Yes, you do. Everybody loves a party. No, I don't. I personally don't. It's about being boundaried. It's your day, right? And if your day, your best day involves you taking yourself out for a birthday breakfast and then you just reading a book and doing nothing all day, that's your choice. So I think maybe for me, it took me many years to give myself the permission. It's my day. So it doesn't mean that I've got to perform for everybody else. And if you do that and you create those boundaries, then you can enjoy that day and you're not going to sort of feel really, really kind of stressed in the lead up to it. I mean, what you said about Christmas, yeah, there are definitely social obligations, but like you, I make sure I do the cooking, and everybody keeps saying, "Oh, I feel so bad you're doing all the cooking." I like it. I like being in a room on my own. I've got a tiny kitchen, so nobody else can come in and join me. It's perfect.
Yeah.
They all go and talk, make small talk, and
Yeah.
drink cups of tea or whatever they're doing in the living room. I just do my thing. I get a bit mean if people come in like, "Do you need me to do any? Get out." You know, my kitchen is tiny, so you get in here, you're in my face, get out. I've gone off on a tangent again, but
No, no,
it,
that's fine.
knowing what you're doing and managing what happens, then and also allowing yourself. Often we have the celebrations at our house, and people understand that I might need to go and hang out in my bedroom on my own for a bit, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay. Allowing yourself that stuff.
Yeah, I used to feel guilty
Yeah.
about that. I don't anymore. I just need a moment. Here's one part of the topic this week that we haven't touched on, and I'm saving it really a little bit because I think we should do this as a separate episode. but I think it's worth
Agreed. Yeah.
touching on to talk about holidays.
Mm.
Um, when was the last time you went on an actual holiday? Booked a holiday, got on a plane, and flew somewhere?
Well, so firstly, I holidays for me are also known as the same shit in a different country. That's what I call holidays. It's the same life trauma in a different country where you haven't got all your favorite foods and your favorite place that you hide and all of that stuff. The last time I went on a holiday where I got on a plane, I think was 8 years ago,
Wow.
and that was to France, I think. And I try actively to avoid holidays at all costs. I do not enjoy them. It's traumatic. We'll do a separate episode on them because there's a lot to talk about.
I can
It
hear
won't
that.
involve me crying the whole time, by
I
the
can
way,
hear
in that separate episode. Yeah,
rocking. A lot of
I try
rocking.
not to do it.
It
I try not to do it. And you know what? The biggest, sorry to interrupt
no,
you,
no.
Stu, the biggest hurdle for me is that it makes me in society an utter freak because the whole of summer's people saying, "Where are you going? You going away somewhere nice? Or have you been somewhere nice? You're going on holiday this year?" And I feel like I've got a big like illuminated thing above my head, like weirdo, weirdo, because I say, "No, thank goodness, we are not going anywhere. We are just doing nothing at home."
Well, so my presumably you go on holiday for a break and you get away from what it is you are doing, because presumably what you are doing, the job or whatever, is tiring, stressful, not what you want to be
Mm,
doing, but what you need to be doing. And you take a break to get
mm,
away from it, a mental break as much as a physical break. And then you come back refreshed. A change is as good as a fresh.
yeah.
I don't need that. I actively will be missing not doing my routine. I like what I do. I choose to do the things that I do. I am master of my own time. I can choose at a moment's notice if I need to do what I want. I'm so lucky and blessed and just, but I've built my life this way. It's not come overnight. There is a lot of trauma involved in getting to this point, and it wasn't easily won. So taking me and putting me into, it doesn't matter if I got on a plane or whatever, putting me into a foreign situation, whether it's a Airbnb in the Cotswolds or a villa in Portugal, I am suddenly, it's coping mechanisms firing all the time.
Yeah.
I'm in coping mechanism mode, and that isn't for me relaxing. How can that, it's like you have
Fight or
holiday
flight
50 weeks of the
constantly.
year and trauma 2 weeks of the year just to conform with everybody else. And if any of my family are listening, and we've been away on holiday together for many, many times, you make me do this, and I appreciate you making me do this because I get to see a part of the world and things that I wouldn't naturally gravitate towards. So exposing me to that and the experiences therein that I've had, they have all been fantastic. And the things that I have to cope with, I will have to cope with whether I'm here or there.
Mm,
And you make my life easier by being and around me in these spaces because I've got you to lean on. Going to these places on my own would be a nightmare. I couldn't even imagine backpacking through Asia.
yeah.
I'd need a bath for a month. Um, the point to it is that the holiday should be the thing that you look forward to, not the thing that you actively think, oh, I've got to go on holiday in a week. And I've had those thoughts. I've got to go away this weekend. Oh God, the traveling, it's a day of just dealing with the energy sap of the, traveling. And then on the other end of it, oh, traveling back straight into work. No, you need 2, maybe 3 days to deal with life that's built up by your absence. So I think there's a deep well of trauma and insight that we can bring to this, and we'll do it in a more structured way next time
Yeah.
because this episode has rather flooded the edges of its available time. I'm just going to round it up there with, look, I think what the takeaway, if anything, is prepare before you get there. And I've been doing a lot of resources for the Oddcast over the last few weeks and months. And the resounding thing that I see my advice, my life experience is plan ahead. And when you've got executive dysfunction and ADHD, that can be awful. But don't just do it yourself. Don't just lean on people. Tell people that this is the I mean, I was trapped inside my neurodiverse brain with all sorts of coping mechanisms, thinking that that's exactly how everybody else dealt with the world. And having come out, as it were, and started to talk about this, I found people that support both my solutions and given me other mechanisms to apply and use. So don't keep it all bottled up. Let it out. You're in good company. Share your comments in the feeds. We want you to be healthy and thriving, not clinging on and surviving. Any final words, Hannah?
I think you've covered it, Stu, but if anybody's got any funny, hopefully not too traumatic stories about their Christmas experiences or holidays,
No.
we'd love to hear.
Comedy is only possible due to trauma.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's just time that makes it funny. That wasn't my insight. I was told that years ago. It's like comedy is trauma plus time, and something just resonated in my head. Like, of course it is. Of course, that's the only way we cope as a species, laughing at it. So, if you've liked what you've seen, heard, or been thinking about, please throw us a share, like, or a subscribe. We'd love you to go to thebusinessoddcast.com and sign up for the newsletter. Just a gentle reminder that we are delivering our content once a week. We won't spam you. We might direct you at some resources, but hey, look, I don't want anyone selling my data to someone just to flog combs or whatever, you know. It's just not.
It's a bit random.
Do you know what? If I ever at the end of an episode go, today we are sponsored by letter openers. Have you got a letter opener? Buy your best letter openers in the link below. If you ever see that, you know I've been held hostage, or the man has injected me. You know, they've got to me. Like stiff little finger. Look for his little finger. The body snatchers have got him. It's a sci-fi reference and a throwback. Like, subscribe, be kind to people, be kind to yourself, and we will see you next week with some more ramblings, insights, and hopefully progress in your own life and business. So see you soon. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Step away from PAYE. Don't do it.